Let us get into the next problem. This is Easy Gates TRB Polytechnic 2021 Easy solutions. So next 2 marks problem from digital. What's given? A CMOS positive level sensitive schematic given below. Okay. Positive level sensitive schematic. Okay. So level sensitive means usually it's a latch. Edge sensitive means it's a flip-flop. A simple distinction between a latch and flip-flop. He said a level sensitive mechanism, so it is going to be a latch. Okay, yes, latch only given. Okay, so we'll see whether it is going to function as a mux or a multiplier or D latch or SR latch. We'll see. So we have only one input. So if it is an SR latch, we need to have two inputs. Okay, so S and R. So only D is mentioned. So probably a D latch. Okay, so we'll see. So how it is functioning? Yes, you know the functionality of this. So selection line is okay. So given to the clock is not edge triggered mechanism. It is level sensitive. So that means whenever the clock is 1, so this is a selection line of your mux. Whenever the clock is 1, so this is your clock and this is your selection line. So whenever the clock is in on state, that's 1, selection is 1. Selection is 1 means your output Y is connected to D. Okay, so Y is connected to the D data. Okay, and whenever the clock is 0, so the selection is going to be 0. Okay, whenever the clock is 0, selection is going to be 0, then Y is going to follow. This is your I1 data and this is your I0 data. So here when S is 1, Y follows I1. So I1 is connected to D, so I'll write it as D. Then whenever selection line is 0, Y follows your I0 as per the mux functionality. Then I0 is connected to whom means, so what we sense here is Q bar and complemented and buffered. So it's basically a not only. So it's you can feel like inverted and buffered. Okay, so then the result is going to be Q bar inverted means it's Q. So we are getting Q only. Okay, so that means I0 is connected to what now means it is connected to, yes, I0 is always connected to Q. Okay, right? Instead of directly making the connection to Q, is making the connection to the Q bar. Okay, then finally getting the I0 as Q always. So it is going to be Q. So the point is this. So whenever there is a clock, okay, so why is this? So let me connect straight away. So whenever there is a clock, whenever the clock is 0, Y follows the previous state. Whenever the clock is 1, Y follows your input D. Okay, Y follows your input D. In fact, Y is nothing but your Q. So Q is equal to Y means, so that's what given. So Q is equal to Y means, then I can say this is my clock and this is my Q star. Okay, so if the clock is 0, I didn't give the clock. So clock is 0 means it is going to follow the previous state. If the clock is 1 means it is going to make the new state. So that means the Q star is equal to D whenever the clock is presented. Whenever it's not the edge, I'm not marking the edge. Whenever the clock is 1, Q star is equal to D. That's a cutter of a D latch. Okay, so it is functioning as a D latch. That's a conclusion. So problem is very straightforward. Okay, so you can also try playing with this data. Then you can also conclude. Okay, so clock is 0. What is your D input? Then what is output? Like that, you can play with the simple table. Okay, then you can conclude it's still a D latch. Okay, so let me try a different route. That's your answer. D latch is the answer. A small verification. A D latch shortly given by this. So the clock is your enable now. It's not clock edge, it's simply the clock. Okay, without the edge, you can mark it as a clock. So it's a clock ready latch you can feel. Okay, that's you. But clock is not actually okay. The whole thing you can call it as a latch. Okay, so D is the input. So it's a clock D latch. Okay, so D is the input, Q is output, Q bar is the output. Okay, so that's a representation of this means whenever the clock is 1, so whatever the data is there with the D, it is going to the Q. So that means Q star is equal to Q. The next state of your D latch is equal to D whenever the clock or enable is equal to 1. Either it's a concept of your gated D latch or enabled D latch. Okay, that's what he's saying. So then we'll have a small check. Say for example, my clock is 0. Okay, clock is 0. So the previous state Q is equal to 0 and Q bar will be equal to 1, means this is 1, this is going to be 0. So this data is 0 and this data, let me say it is my D. Yes, clock is 0 means what I will get here. So this is my Y. So clock is 0 means Y is going to follow the 0. So this is going to be 0. So the state continues. So that is confirming. So the moment clock is 0, so D may change, go from 0 to 1, no problem. D may have any changes when the clock is 0, but the changes happening in D is not affecting your output. That means your D latch is disabled because the clock is 0 now. Okay, right? This is what the concept of a clocked latch or enabled D latch. Okay, so the latch cannot see the changes in the D because it is in the disabled condition. Okay, that's fine. So clock is 0. That means Q star is equal to Q only. The state continues. That's all. Okay, right? Till you give the clock, the state will be the previous Q only. What is the previous Q? We assume Q is equal to 0. Okay, now let me take the same situation. The Q is still 0 and the Q bar is 1. Okay, this is 1, this is 0. So now let me make the clock 1. So clock is 1. Okay, so now the D is initially 0 and then changing to 1. Okay, so let me pursue this way. Now D is equal to 0. What's happening now? Clock is 1 means the output is now clock is 1 means selection of the 2 to 1 mux is 1. So Y is going to follow the data. So first the data will be what? 0. So then previous data also what? 0. Now the data is getting copied because now the clock is 1, Q star is equal to D. So the next state is going to follow your D input. So then again the same thing continues, but by some point of time your D is changing from 0 to 1, means this data becomes 1. When this data becomes 1, then the output becomes 1. So when the output becomes 1, whenever the D data changes, output changes. So whenever the clock is enabled condition, that means D latch is enabled condition. So the next state is simply following your D. So now the latch is transparent. We call it as latch is transparent. That's a basic of a D latch. Latch is transparent means whatever the change happens in D will be reflected in the Q. Yes, that's a fundamental of a gated D latch. That's what given. So strongly we can conclude the answer is option A. A simple 2 marks exploiting a D latch. Yes, let us get into the next problem. Okay, this is from 2-port networks. Admittance parameters, Y matrix. So Y11 given, Y12 given, Y21 given, Y22 also given. That means Y matrix is given. So values of YA, YB and YC only we need to find out. So let us quickly make it. We'll go with the fundamental. Okay. So as I said, you do not remember everything, remember little. Okay. So it's V2. This is I2. Output port, input port, V1, the current I1. So this is the Y matrix. Yes, quickly make the connection. So it's a KCL making your Y matrix impedance parameters. So KCL at the input port, KCL at the output port. Yes, the equation becomes I1, I2 is equal to, yes, straight away Y11, Y12, Y21, Y22. That's given already. Okay, right? That is it into V1, V2. That's how it goes. Okay. Yes, we need to find out the parameters YA, YB, and YC. Okay, so a pi network is given. Okay, something like this. That's what we call as a pi network. We have a route, actually, a shortcut is there, but instead of that, go with the fundamental. You will never commit any mistake. Okay, if you remember, sometimes if you recollect, okay, the expression, sometimes if it is not recollected properly, there is a good chance of committing mistake. So we'll try to find a parameter which is unique. Okay, so what parameter is unique means, for example, so the parameter here, it is unique. What is the parameter? YC is unique. So find YC, then complete the problem. Like that, you can set the problem. Okay, right? You can set the flow for the problem. So see, in options, YZ is very unique. Okay, nothing gets repeated. You get 0, 6, -6, and 8. So if you focus on YC, we can complete the problem instantly, even if you go by the fundamental route. Okay, so now let me write the expressions. We'll see in the expression route, is it possible or not? Then we'll complete it quickly. Okay, yes, we need to go by expression as well as a circuit. Okay, so then what the expression you get? So you got the matrix already. Okay, values are given already. So then I can write I1, I2, that is equal to, yes, what's your matrix? The matrix Y11, that is 8 ohms. It's 8 most correct only. So that's a conductance. It is 8. Let me take only the numbers, -6, and is also -6. Then Y22 will be +6. Okay, that's what given. Then the voltages V1 and V2 we have. Okay, so then the expression for I1 becomes 8V1 -6V2, and expression for I2 becomes -6V1 +6V2. Okay, that's it. So 8 -6 -6 +6. That's all. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we need to get the admittances in most. Okay. So this may be ZA, ZB, ZC I can have. Okay. So, but the goal is to find only the admittances. Okay. So this may be ZA, this may be ZB, this may be ZC. But inverse of that, sorry, this is your ZC, this is your ZP. Inverse of them only the corresponding admittances. The goal is to get only the admittances. Okay, we'll see. We'll play for the admittance YC. The goal is I'm going to find only YC. With that, I will complete the problem instantly. So then how to find YC? So what are the data available? Yes, all are available. Then how to find YC? YC is this. So we'll play for two parameters. So who will influence YC means YC is commonly existing between the input port and output port. Okay, so you can play with. So for this two port network, let me go for Y12 and Y21. Let me play for Y12 and Y21. Y12 and Y21. Any common element, we'll see. Okay. That's a network. As labeled YA, YB, YC. So this is YA, this is YB, and this is YC. The goal is to find YC quickly. Okay, so we have V1, we have I1 plus minus, we have V2, we have I2 plus minus. Let me have a copy of this. We'll quickly play with this. Let me play for Y11. Y11. Let me try Y11. What is Y11? What is the condition for Y11? Refer this. So how to get Y11? If you go by the fundamental, so you have the expressions. What are the expressions you have? I1 is equal to Y11 V1 plus Y12 V2. Second expression, I2 equal to Y21 V1 plus Y22 V2. Yes. So Y11, Y21, you can find them. Okay, when V2 equal to 0, output short circuited. Yes, we'll see. What is that? It's V1 by, sorry, I1 by V1. And this is I2 by V1. We'll see. Okay, so what it is influencing. Let me go for Y11 for a change. So what's y11? So short your output. V2 0. I'm going for y11. If it is shorted, then yb will be shorted. So I have ya yc. So that means my y11 will become ya plus yc. Simple. Okay, so that's my y11. Okay, so then another one, let me also, that is straight away I'm adding, because ya and yc are in parallel, I'm just adding it. Okay, so then the goal is to get yc. So ya is unknown, yc also unknown. Ultimately, the goal is to find ya, yb, and yc. I planned only for yc. So we'll find one more expression that is going to give uh, another admittance as a function of ya and yc. So which will give only as a function of ya and yc, ya and yc. So v2 is shorted. Then I'll go for yes, I'll go for y21. Okay, same column. Okay, so yes, as per the plan. So v2 already 0. I'll go for y21. That means I need to find out I2 by v1. So let me see what is I2 by v1. So this is I2. So this is I2. So that means this is shorted, means there won't be any current in this. Okay, YB. So the current will be here. That's my I2. Okay, so I have to get Y21 as I2 by V1. So tell me what is I2 by V1 from this, then I'll compete. It's also going to be a function of YA and YC. With that will, because we know Y11, we also know Y21, so we can complete the problem instantly for YC. With that will freeze the problem. Okay. Yes, what is that? So I2 by V1 we need now. Okay, so V1 is excitation. Let me take this potential as a 0. Therefore, the top potential will be equal to V1. So therefore, this is equal to V1. So now what does I2 means? I2 is nothing but I2 is nothing but, so this is short. Okay, this is short mean this is 0. This point is also going to be 0. So then I2 is going to be V1 by V1 into YC, because V1 will fall across this. V1 will fall across this. So the current will be this way. So then I will take I2 a negative 1. So that means opposite to this negative means it is going to be minus V1 by, sorry, V1 into YC. V into Y will be the current. Okay, V1 into YC will be the I2. So that's my I2 divided by, looking for I2 as a function of V1. Yes, I got already. Okay, that's my I2. That's my I2. So the I2 is equal to, yes, straight away I2 equal to, yes, already problem is over. I2 is equal to minus V1 by YC. So I'm going for I2 by V1. I2 by V1 is nothing but minus YC, done. Here itself the problem is over. Okay, so therefore my Y21 is equal to minus YC. Yes, take only that data. What is Y21 given? Problem is simplified. Y21 or Y12 is equal to minus 6. So then it is going to be minus 6. So then it is going to be minus YC. If that is the case, Y is equal to 6 moles. That's all. Yes, by practice only you will come to know how to play for YC. Yes, if you play for YC, play for the Y12 or Y21. If we started with Y12 or Y21, then immediately we'll compete. By the time I try for 1-1, it is not working. It is function of YA and YC. And when I try for Y21, it becomes only function of YC, means then I can complete the problem with that. So strongly I can say the answer is YC is 6. YC is 6 means it's only one option. Option B is the right answer. Yes. That's how you need to help yourself in the examination. You need not to find all the parameters. So after the examination, for verification of your answer, you can find the remaining parameters. Okay. Now you can verify. So I'm getting y is equal to 6 means, so what will be your ya? You can say, so already you have another parameter here itself. Ya plus yc is there. So what is y11? A small verification we can do. Y11 we have. Y11 is given in the matrix as 8. So y11 is 8. So 8 is equal to its ya plus yc is known, that is 6. So therefore automatically ya will be equal to 8 minus 6. Then it is equal to 2. Yes, confirmed. That's a option. Okay. Yes. Yes, if you want to comment on YB, so focus on, if you comment on YB, suppose if you want to know YB, yes, okay, so you're looking for Y22, look for Y22 and make V1 0. Okay, so make V1 0. In this case, Y22 will become YB plus what? YC. You can find another parameter also if you wish. So Y22 is given. What is Y22 as per the matrix? Y22 is 6 ohms. Okay, Y22 is 6 ohms. Sorry, 6 more ohm inverse. Okay, 6. then it is equal to YB plus YC also 6, then YB equal to 0. Done. So you get YA is equal to 2 moles. Okay, so 2s, 2s we can avoid because we sometimes play with the Laplace operator also. Instead of 2 Siemens, we can say 2 moles, and YB is equal to 0 moles, and then YC is equal to 6 moles. That's your answer. Yes, problem is already done by finding YC itself. Okay, so to find YC, you can set the problem either for Y12 or for Y21. It's simple. You not remember much. Okay, just it's 2 marks. Okay, so you can happily spend around 2 to 3 minutes and get the solution. So you keep your memory as simple as possible. You have the fundamental. You can connect to any problem. That's a confidence you have to take for the examination. Okay, any competitive examination. So you have to keep your memory as simple as possible, as comfortable as possible throughout your examination. Okay, so that's a key strategy for any aspirant. Okay, so with this, let me conclude this video. Okay, so thanks for watching and update. Okay, and also subscribe if you have any doubts. Yes, okay, so post your doubts, we'll try to clarify at the earliest.